Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Ashley. So for today's video, I am going to do my first trimester recap, including like my food aversions, and then just a small update on how I've been feeling in the second trimester. But before we get into that, I thought I would just kind of basically touch on this whole situation. I hope you guys are doing okay at home in quarantine. I have been home for like 4 weeks now just because before all this happened I was very sick and like not leaving the house anyways, and then all this happened, so I've been at home for a while. But we're doing good. I just wanted to make sure that you guys are doing okay. You guys are having fun and trying to do, fun stuff anyways. We've been trying to have fun. Raheem's been playing a lot of video games. I've just been like binge watching, honestly, like the Kardashians and random shows on Hulu and Netflix. But yeah, so with everything going on, there's some ups and downs. Most of my OB appointments have been changed to just phone calls, for the baby's safety, for my own safety. And I was pretty fine with that. I was disappointed that I couldn't go, hear the heartbeat and make sure everything is okay. But basically, yeah, we did a phone call. She was just like, "Are you doing okay?" And I was like, "Yep." And then told her some of my current symptoms. Everything's fine. I did an early glucose test, just because of family history and because I am overweight. But it was fine. My glucose is perfectly normal. Oh yeah, so most of the OB appointments in general have been moved to phone calls unless you're past a certain week. I can't remember, maybe like 34 weeks or something like that. I don't know. But I will have to go in 4 weeks to do my anatomy scan, and I'm so excited to do that. I've been looking forward to that this whole time. That's one of 2 ultrasounds that you get with TRICARE over here, at least at this hospital. Unless you are high risk, then I think you get one every week, but I get 2, and I was so excited for that. Raheem was excited, because generally that's the appointment that you're able to find out the gender of the baby. But with everything happening, they're no longer allowing spouses or anybody else. It's just the patient in the room with the doctor or whoever does the anatomy scan. So yeah, they won't even allow like husbands into the women's clinic, I don't believe. So it's pretty tied down. I'm grateful that they're being precautious. It's just kind of sad, like all these things are changing. So it's definitely different. Definitely a unique experience for a first pregnancy. That's just kind of how I have to look at it. I had to distance myself from everything because it was giving me anxiety and like making me so overwhelmed with everything, and just people like constantly telling me what to do, what not to do, and like I know it comes from a good place. I understand that and I appreciate it. It's just every day having somebody tell you to do something and be like extra careful because you're pregnant and you have asthma. It's like, I know, okay, I appreciate it, but it's overwhelming along with everything on Facebook and the news. So I had to take a little bit of a break from everything. But I wanted to get this video up for you guys because I promised that I would make this. So this is my first trimester recap. I have 10 bullet points just to keep it easy. So yeah, let's get started with my first trimester. The number one thing for first trimester with me was exhaustion. Like, I was so tired every single day. I literally had probably maybe 4 days that I can remember where I literally just slept all day long. Like, I woke up, made myself eat a small breakfast, and then just went back to sleep. And then Raheem would like come home and then like wake me up and like make sure I ate dinner, and then I went back to sleep. I would take like 2 or 3 hour naps. Like it's exhaustion that I've never felt before, and like not just like cute little naps, but like deep sleep naps. So yeah, first trimester exhaustion. That is some real stuff right there. The second symptom, of course, was the morning sickness. I had constant nausea. I was throwing up every single day, multiple times a day. I actually lost like 10 pounds in the first trimester. I don't know how much I weigh now because I haven't been back to the doctor, but yeah, like I lost weight. I couldn't keep anything down. Nothing sounded appealing. Like it was such a chore to eat food or to even drink water. It was just so frustrating. Like I remember getting so frustrated that I wanted to cry, like where I teared up because I was just like, I'm so hungry, like I want to eat, but it will not stay down. Unisom helped a little bit. Another thing that helped me, my brother thought this was like really funny, was pickle juice. It helped for like 4 days or something. I literally just had a jar of pickles next to my bed and it couldn't be cold. It was like room temperature was the best. And I would just lay there and pick up my my pickle jar and just like drink the juice. And it worked. It worked for a couple days and then it kind of stopped working. But yeah, I tried so many different things to ease the nausea, but the best things were probably those like Preggy pop drop thingies, and then that's about it. A little bit of pickle juice, and then just like sleeping. The third symptom is like my skin. It's so dry. Like it's always flaking by my nose and like my eyebrows. It's so dry and flaky. It's so weird. Like I've never really had that before. I've always had like kind of combination, but like normal. And if it was an issue, it used to be oily, but now it's dry. And then acne, which thankfully it hasn't been bad, but I've had like, you know, a couple of blemishes here and there. And then like a lot of just clogged pores, and not just on my face, but like my shoulders, my chest, my arms, my back. Nothing dramatic. It really doesn't bother me because I know it's gonna, you know, go away, get better. Nothing a little makeup can't fix for right now. The fourth symptom would be just being emotional, like at random stuff. The first thing that happened to like that clued me that I should take a test was me and Raheem were watching a movie and I went to hold his hand and we were like holding hands, and then he moved it to scratch his leg or something, and then like I got so upset that I left to the bedroom and I cried because he moved his hand. Like it was just like overly emotional. And the thing I told my friend too was like, it's not just like other times where you get overwhelmed and like you just tear up and then you can kind of like and like take care of yourself and move on. It's like when it would happen, it was like I cried. Like I would cry. It's a little better now. I don't feel like I'm as emotional. I think it was because my hormones just like, you know, were building and building every day. We were driving one day and like this fox ran in front of the car and I cried because I was like, we could have hit it. And he was like, come on. And I was like, he would have died. But, oh, and another thing, I was driving back from Walmart, like, we have a Walmart right next door to us, and I was driving back home, and I saw a mail truck, and I started bawling my eyes out because it reminded me of my dad. Oh my gosh. I was like, Ashlee, like I literally parked the car when I got home, and I was like, you need to get it together. It was just like a random mailman, and I was like, ooh. But the fifth symptom that I still have like to this day is overheating. Oh my gosh. But especially in the first trimester, like Raheem would be freezing cold and I would be sweating. And then at night, my feet would get so hot. Oh my gosh. It still kind of happens now, like my feet, but it's just miserable, like trying to sleep and your feet are on fire, or just like trying to be at a comfortable temperature and then you just feel way overheated. And this was back when it was colder still. Like now it's almost 70 degrees. This was like, it was like 30 degrees outside and I had like the AC going because I was like sweating. The sixth symptom is my hair and nail growth and just like changes in that overall. My hair feels, it like grew drastically. It's like super long now. My nails grow, I have to cut them every single week or they get just like unmanageable. I mean, it's not bad. Like they're hard, which is amazing for someone like me who had, you know, acrylics and like dip powder for like the last 4 years, but they're like nice and healthy. They're shiny. They got nice grooves. My hair feels like it's definitely longer. It feels way thicker and heavier and like more full, which is cool. But yeah, it's just a really weird like symptom that happened all of a sudden. I was like, oh. And having to wax my mustache and my eyebrows. I have to do that every week now too. Used to, it was like every other week, so it's about like 2 weeks, you know, in between. I could let it grow and like whatever. Now it's like the end of the week. I got like Bushman eyebrows and my little native mustache, and I'm like, I just wax. The seventh thing, I don't know if this is a symptom, but it's just like a thing that I dealt with, was I could not do chores, like mainly because I was just so tired, but also I couldn't do the dishes or cook because like the smell or just the sight of like food or leftover food would make me sick. Yeah, just looking, thinking about the dishes and like looking them and getting like a waft of something, I would have to run to the bathroom and puke. But cooking, I literally like didn't cook the whole first trimester. I finally have been cooking here and there now. Like last night I made Portuguese soup, which was delicious. Still like certain things, if it's like raw meat, I still can't do it. I still can't even really eat meat. But yeah, cooking, cleaning, chores in general, the house was like a hot mess like the first trimester. So ooh, the eighth thing, pregnancy brain. Oh my gosh, that's another thing I feel like kind of leveled out for right now. I know I've heard of women saying like it gets worse, but the first trimester, oh my gosh, like I'd just be talking and then just like completely forget what I was saying, or forget, oh my gosh, I kept forgetting what things were called, like mid-sentence. I'd be like, yeah, you know, the thing, and I'd just sit there and like describe it until Raheem would guess what it was, and I'd be like, yeah. Or putting things where they don't belong. I did that a couple times. And then like forgetting the stove burner on. I've done that like 4 times now. Or I'll like make something and then go sit down and eat it, and then like halfway through I'm like, oh my god, did I turn the stove off? And I go back and it's still on. I'm like, so, but luckily I've caught myself every time. A little scary, but now like anytime I cook or whatever, I like triple check to make sure that I've turned it off. The ninth thing was my appetite. Oh my gosh. Like besides morning sickness, I just didn't have an appetite. Like I did not want to eat anything at all. Nothing sounded good. And then if it did, I would have to eat it right then. Like I couldn't plan ahead hours in advance, because by the time that came, or even a couple minutes, I would be disgusted by that. So if it was like a pickle sounds good right now, I would have to eat a pickle right then. It was just really weird, like having an appetite that changes so quickly. Ugh. The 10th thing, pregnancy, and I've heard this a couple times too, is pregnancy gives you really weird dreams. I've always kind of had vivid dreams, but these are really weird. One of them, I had like this Harry Potter themed dream, and there was like this tree house, and there was like portals where I like jumped into this couch, and then it brought me like outside, and there was like these floating flying crab spider things. Another dream was I was chasing bulls with Robert Plant from Led Zeppelin, and then he was like, oh, did you guys pick out a name for the baby yet? And I was like, oh no, we haven't, because we don't know the gender. And then he was like, oh, you know what a cool name would be? And I was like, what? And he was like, Zeppelin. And I was like, yes and no. Oh, terrifying dreams. I had one the other week maybe, and I was just like in this old, not even old, it was just like this house that was being built or like reconstructed or something. And it was this huge house, and I was walking around with my mom, and it was dark. There was only like maybe candles or something lit every couple feet or something, so it was kind of dark. And there was this massive closet. It was like a master bedroom with this massive closet, and we were in the bathroom, and we had just like looked through this rack of clothing. Like nobody lived there, but there was like all these clothes, and me and my mom were like looking, and then we're like, oh yeah, we should donate all of these. And then we went to the bathroom, and then the like light in the closet went back on, and we heard something, and we're like, what is that? And then like literally out of nowhere, this guy who didn't have legs came running out on his hands, like full speed. It's really creepy. But he just like bolted through the doorway on his hands, like running, and then just stopped like right in front of me and was just like staring at me. And I just like, I remember feeling so terrified. Like it still creeps me out now, but I was like so scared that like I jumped awake, and I was like scared to go back to sleep. But yeah, pregnancy gives you weird, weird dreams. Okay, so that was my first trimester recap. I thought I would share with you my food aversions. There's only like 4 or 5 of them. My biggest food aversion still is meat. Like I can't look at raw meat, I can't think about it. It still makes me sick. I've been slowly incorporating things back. It's a really common food aversion in pregnancy, so I don't know when I'm gonna be able to eat meat again without like getting nauseous. My second food aversion was coffee. I don't know why, maybe because it was hot, but I remember drinking coffee and it made me so sick. So I stopped drinking it. And then only 2 weeks ago, I've been kind of incorporating it back into my breakfast, and it's iced coffee. The past 2 days I've been able to drink hot coffee. So my third food aversion was rice. I'm still kind of iffy about it because I was traumatized. I made sushi one day and I felt really good. Like I had all this energy, it sounded good. I made the sushi. I ate like 4 of them or 5 of them throughout the day, and bad. It didn't digest. It came up, but when it did, it literally like scratched my throat on the way up to the point where I could feel like it felt like something was stuck in my throat, and it made me panic. Like I was FaceTiming my parents and my brother, and I literally was like the whole time, and they were like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "No." And it took like 4 days to heal, and I swear ever since then it feels like something, phlegm or something, is stuck in the back of my throat, so I'm constantly like clearing my throat. But yeah, I'm still kind of iffy about rice. Probably won't eat as much of it if I do eat it. The other thing was hot food and warm food did not sound good. I literally ate snack food and like fruit cups, applesauce, like just cold fruit and vegetables. The other thing was foods that are like mixed together or like chopped up, basically because they look like puke to me. So like anything like casseroles, chili, dips, stuff like that, I would see it and be like, that looks like I already ate it and I don't want to eat it because it's like foretelling my future. Those are basically my food aversions. A lot of them have gone away besides the meat. I'm starting to enjoy food again, which I really appreciate, and I'm so thankful, and I hope it stays that way. And then just to keep you updated on my second trimester, my morning sickness has died down a lot. I still get nauseous and like my stomach will turn and I think I'm gonna puke, but like now, majority of the time, I don't puke. So wins, right? Like I said, I'm able to eat a lot more. Like I'm eating 3 meals a day now. First trimester, I would count my calories and I was eating like maybe 300. Now I'm eating probably 1200 or so. It's still not like perfect, it's not great, but like I'm so glad I can eat food again and like on a normal basis, and like a lot of things are starting to sound better. So and with that, my second thing is I've been craving a lot of like vinegar and like vinegary things, balsamic vinegar or just like stuff with vinegar. Oh, so good and so worth the heartburn, honestly. Another thing is I've been getting bursts of energy back. Like everyone was like, oh, you're gonna get so much energy back and you're gonna be able to do everything, blah, 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 blah. I have energy, but it literally comes in short bursts where I'm able to get stuff done. And then like right after, I have to rest still because the tiredness is like still here, still kicking. So yeah, I still have to like lay down throughout the day. I try to take naps, but it's almost like I can't take a nap now, even though my body wants it. Second trimester It's like, I always tell Raheem, in pregnancy, I found out that if it's not one thing, it's another. So like, morning sickness has taken a back seat, but up front is the growing pains and the aches of pregnancy. Oh my gosh. The biggest thing for me right now is like pelvic pain, which I thought was very interesting because a lot of women don't experience that until like the end of third trimester. So I'm interested why I would get that at like 15 weeks, but my doctor said it's normal, so whatever. But it literally feels like I got hit on my pelvic bone, especially in the morning where I get out of bed, or if I'm sitting for a long time and have to stand up, it hurts so bad to get up and walk around. And then the round ligament pain, yeah, that one like takes my breath away sometimes. So definitely interesting. And like my hips feel wobbly and kind of loose. So it's all, you know, it's all good. Like, I have to remind myself that means that the baby's growing, which is awesome. So I'll take the pain as long as the baby's fine, right? So the next thing I have written down for the second trimester update is about my ultrasounds, which I already talked about in the beginning and I forgot. So I guess I will insert a picture of our first ultrasound and you can see the little bean. And then, like I said before, the end of April is when I have my anatomy scan. So hopefully that's when we'll be able to find out the gender. Here's another thing I can tell you that I forgot. Raheem and I have picked out names. And I remember somebody being like, why would you have multiple names? And I was like, because there's two genders and we don't know which one we need yet. So we have a boy name picked out and we have a girl name picked out. I won't tell you the names because it took us a while to agree on them, but we love them. And I'm still debating on when I will announce those names. So I don't know if that'll be when we find out the gender or its own video, or maybe we'll just wait until, you know, the kid pops out and we'll like be like, this is the name. And then the last thing that I have to tell you is that we have a baby registry. I finally sat down and made a baby registry. It's on Amazon and I will link it below so that if you feel ever so kind and want to purchase something for us, the link will be there so you can take a gander at the stuff that we would very much appreciate. And to everybody else who's already purchased from the baby registry, we really do appreciate it. Anything helps. Yeah, you know, we're first-time parents. We don't know what we're doing. So anything that you feel the need to help us out with, we very much appreciate. So with that being said, that is the full video. I hope you guys enjoy this. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Leave us some comments down below. If you want to share my video, please do. You know I like when you do. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel and we will see you in the next video. And I guess I'll put my last two bump pics since there's a little bumpage going on. I'm like, right now I'm like in maternity not pants, what are these? Shorts. My maternity jean shorts. So got a little bump going on now. So I'll put some pictures and I'm thinking for my next video, maybe I'll film tomorrow. I want to do a what I eat in a day pregnancy edition. If you want to watch that, please stick around and thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next video. Bye.